Getting a C-section was never a part of my birth plan, like ever. I never thought that I was gonna get a C-section. I always knew that it was like a possibility, obviously, because you never know how birth is gonna go until you in the room. But yeah. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Deanna, and today I'm gonna share something very, very personal with you guys, which is my birth story, which was a induction that turned into a C-section. I know a lot of moms, sometimes our births don't really go as what we planned. I spent a lot of time going into my researching my birth plan, preparing for birth. I did a lot of exercise for a natural birth, but unfortunately, things just don't go how we plan sometimes. And sometimes we have to make tough decisions in the middle of what we thought was going to happen. But I'm so excited to share my story with you guys, and I hope that this empowers any mom who has a scheduled C-section coming up, or any mom who's just trying to prepare for the possibilities of birth, because anything can happen in birth, in the labor and delivery room. So I hope this video is helpful to you. Originally, I was getting induced because I went over my due date. I was originally, like, my original due date was January 17th, and I was so tired of being pregnant. Like, I gained over nearly 60 pounds. I was tired. I was like so over being pregnant. Like, I cannot go to 41 weeks. So at my 39-week appointment, we made a scheduled induction for January 20th, and that is when I went to get induced. So the entire weekend from the 17th to the 20th, I was just preparing, and my induction was set at a Piedmont hospital, and at 8 o'clock in the morning. And so I went there and I got started. I was already dilated to a 3 at my 39-week appointment, and I had lost my mucus plug on that Friday, and it was continuing to come out like up until my induction. So I go to my induction, they check me, and I'm at a 4, and they get me. I also was Strep B positive, so that's another reason why I wanted to be induced, because I was really worried about the Strep B, like getting on her. Like, I was really afraid of that. So I felt like an induction, like, and plus my hospital was an hour and 15 minutes away from me, so it was just so many scary things with the Strep B. So I felt more comfortable like scheduling induction, so I knew that we had enough time for me to get the antibiotics. So when I got there, they started me on the antibiotics, and then they got me started on Pitocin at a very, very, very low dose. And by the time she came back and checked me, I was at like a 5. She put in my Pitocin again, and then everything was going smooth. My doctor was coming, like the contractions were coming. I was fine. I didn't have an epidural. I was good. And then around 12 o'clock, mind you, my induction started at 8. At 12 o'clock, I was 7 centimeters dilated. My Pitocin level was at like, I don't know, it was like at an 8 or something like that. Those contractions hurt so bad. Pitocin contractions are a different beast. Natural contractions, I felt like, okay, I can get through this. Like, this ain't nothing to me. Like, it's fine. I can just breathe through them. And also, like, I was very active through my labor. I was on the ball. I used a peanut ball. I was using the dilation station. That's a toilet. I was like very active in my induction, because I wanted her to move down, and she was already really, really low. And so 12 o'clock hit, I was at 7 centimeters dilated, and those contractions hurt so bad. I was like, baby, give me the epidural. Like, give me the epidural right now, please. And so my nurse came in, and she was like, the anesthesiologist, like, he's about to do a C-section, and she was like, he can do it after. Girl, at this point, I'm crying. I'm in pain. I'm like, oh my gosh, like, this ain't tea. And so she was able to talk the anesthesiologist into doing my epidural before he went to do the C-section. So I got my epidural when I was 7 centimeters dilated around like 12:30 p.m. Was that p.m.? Yeah, p.m. And so after that, I went to sleep. I think I had some Jello and some cranberry juice, and I went to sleep. I woke up around like 3. They checked me. I was still like progressing really well. I was doing really good. And then around like 7 o'clock, I was at a 10. I was 10 centimeters dilated, and I started pushing. And so I was pushing for 4 hours. 4 hours of pushing, and she was coming down. I was doing really good with my pushes. I was doing really good breathing. Girl, I even shit. Like, I shit myself. Guilty. But But and that shit stank. I ain't gonna lie, like that was not see. And then the nurse was like, "Oh yeah, we can tell that you're pushing really good because you're pooping." And I'm like, all right, whatever. So I'm at a 10. I'm pushing, and I'm pushing for hours and hours and hours and hours. My doctor comes, and when I'm like pushing like my 2 hour mark, he's like, she's low, but she I don't think she coming out. But it was like, we're gonna keep trying. We're gonna keep trying. So we kept trying, and he just kept back. Every time he came to check me, he said, I think she's just too big to come out vaginally. Like, I think she's just a little too big. And so I'm getting worried, I'm getting stressed. I'm like, please just let this baby come out. Like, I don't, like, please, come on. And so this is where it became a blur. They started checking the monitors, and her heart rate starts like dipping. Like, her heart rate dipped a couple times. And they were trying to hide it from me to not make me worried, but like I could kind of tell that something was up. And so my doctor comes in there, and he's like, she's not coming down. She's like, but they could see her head. Like, they could literally see the hair on her head. Like, her head was literally right, like her head was right there. And so they were like, she's just too big to come out. And it was like, we give it 30 more minutes. And then my mom was like, well, no, before he said give it 30 more minutes, mom was like, well, what does that mean? And he was like, we're gonna have to do a C-section. And they were gonna let me keep trying, but at that point, like, her heart rate was already dropping. Like, honestly, she could have passed away, and I could have passed away. And granted, I didn't want a C-section. I had to do what was best for my baby because, she could have died. And I didn't want that. So it was kind of like, I can live with a C-section scar. I can't live without my baby. So we wanted to go ahead and get the C-section started before it turned into like a major emergency C-section. So once he said like, oh, we're gonna have to do a C-section, we were like, don't even wait, like, we can just get it started. And from there, everything was a blur. But your anesthesiologist for your C-section is going to be your bestie. His name was Corey. He came in there, he talked to me, he was telling me about all the medicine I'm gonna take, he was talking to me, keeping me calm. And I kind of like, I started crying. I was like, oh my gosh, like, I should have listened to myself. I should have got induced when I was 39 weeks. I should have got induced earlier because I had been saying I wanted to get induced or like earlier because she would have been smaller and she could have came out. But she was, and so I was just blaming myself. I was really sad. I was like, really sad. My nurse was like, girl, 39 weeks wouldn't have made a difference. Like, she big anyway. So, after that, we ended up going to get my C-section or whatever, and I go in the OR room. My mom, my dad, my sister was there with me during my labor and delivery, and so my mom came in the C-section part with me. And so before that, I was just talking, I was talking everybody's head off. Like, I was talking their head the fuck off. Like, I was talking to them. I was like, asking about something. I asked some girl what her job was. I was talking to Corey like it was nothing. Like, I was really nervous. And the C-section really didn't take that long. Like, I remember going in there probably like 11. And she was, not 11, like probably like 10:43. And she was born at like, I ain't gonna say what time she was born, but she was born like a couple minutes after. And she came out, she was blue. She was big, y'all. She was huge. Like, huge. She was swole. Her head was swole. Oh, that's another reason why they said she had C-section, because her head was like, there was like a bulge at the top of her head that was like stressing her out. So she was huge, y'all. She was big. And they kept asking me like, do you want to hold her? Do you want to hold her? Bitch, I'm zooted as fuck. I don't want to hold her. No, like, I don't want her first time meeting me to me like being overwhelmed or whatever. But they did like come take a picture with me or whatever, blah blah blah. And then after that, everything just moved quick. Like, as soon as they got her out, they put me back in. They like put my stuff back in, whatever. Go back to the labor and delivery room. Then they moved me to mother and baby, and me and my mom stayed there. I was in the hospital for a couple days, like 3 days, and my nurse, y'all, the nurses are tea. Your nurse is gonna be the reason that you're staying in the hospital. Like, I couldn't really walk by myself for like the first 2 days, and like going to the bathroom. I didn't pee for like 14 hours, and I didn't poop for 3 days after my C-section. And so, oh, you also get a catheter. Getting the catheter out don't hurt that much, but bitch, the epidural, that hurt. Getting an epidural And after your epidural hurts, it hurts so bad. After my C-section, I don't even think I slept after my C-section, like right after. But, you know, I met her. I was so in love with my baby. I still am in love with my baby. I'm in love with my baby. And I was just in the hospital, and I did have to take some heavy pain medication one time because that pain was so unbearable. Like, I was trying to fight through it, but it was hard. Like, your body hurts, you can't walk, you can't do anything. Like, I just felt so, like, me being an extremely independent person, it felt like all my power was taken away from me in that moment, because I just felt like there's nothing that I could do for myself. And even for my baby, like, she would cry in the hospital, and I couldn't even get up to help her. Like, and that made me feel so bad. Like, it's her first days of life, and like her mom can't even help her. Like, she would cry, and I would try so hard to like sit up and get up and like try to go to her, but I literally physically could not. And that was something really hard. Like, watching other people take care of your baby was really hard for me, because, you know, like, I'm her mom. Like, I should have been able to take care of her. But, you know, I literally just had my uterus taken out, cut open, stitched back up, put back inside of me, 7 layers cut. Like, you know, that was a lot. Like, I think we think C-sections are casual because they happen so often. It's literally major surgery, guys. Major surgery. So, on like my second day there, I had to take some very strong medicine. And so I took the medicine, and I felt good. Like, I felt great. I felt amazing. I was able to walk myself to the bathroom after that. I was able to, you know, pee by myself because I literally needed assisted peeing. I needed people to hold my hand while I sat on the toilet because I couldn't do it myself. And there's just something that felt degrading about, like, being so exposed. Like, I couldn't take a shower myself. I couldn't change, you know, like, the pads and all this stuff. Ignore that noise. Pad and stuff like that by myself. Like, they literally had to help me do all of that. Like, imagine multiple people seeing you booty butt naked, exposed, bleeding, and there's nothing you can do about it because you can't clean yourself. You can't do that. Like, I don't know. That was just something that made me, like, I'm extremely independent. So that made me feel like, I don't know. But after I had the medicine, I talked to myself, and I told myself, D, if you felt good while you had this medicine on, then we know that feeling good is something that can happen. Being able to get up to pee by yourself is something that can happen. You can feel good without this medicine. So they kept offering me the medicine again. I was like, no, I'm fine. And I told myself, you've been okay before. You were okay when you were on those meds. You're going to be okay now. So on like my second, like the late night going into my third night being there, I got up. I started walking my baby around like the hospitals in a circle. I started walking her around that. I started forcing myself to get up. I started to sit in the chair instead of laying in the bed. I started like reaching for her and getting her because I'm just like, you know, no one's coming to save me. And I don't like how I feel. I don't like how I feel having to depend on people. And they weren't making me, like, they weren't being mean to me at all. It's just something about me. Like, I feel like, one, she's my kid, she's my daughter, she's my responsibility. No one should be having to take care of her besides me, because I did what I did to make her here, to create her. Like, that was me. Nobody else did that. Nobody else interacted with that. Like, that was me. So I was like, this is my baby. I need to get up and I need to take care of her. And no matter if it hurts, no matter whatever, like, I need to get up. So I literally started to get up and take care of my baby because that's what I had to do, because I'm a mother, okay? So after that, I started feeling better, and then like my last day at the hospital, I felt good. Like, I felt like good, and they told me like, not doing any heavy lifting or whatever. Girl, I got home, I started bending, I started doing everything like normal, because I'm like, I cannot sit here and so, because my baby needs me. Like, so I gotta get up. I can't be sitting in my bed. I can't be sitting in my bed doing nothing or being sitting here sad. And I didn't want to give myself time to heal, and I did have people here who was helping me, but it's just like, it's a mind thing for me, really. Like, it's you know, it's a mind thing for me. So I started cleaning my room, like making a routine for us, like having her by myself all day, because like I want it, you know, I don't know. But when you get home, your recovery for C-section, ice packs, Tylenol and Motrin. Stay on your Tylenol and Motrin. Stay on those. Don't stay on the heavy drugs. They gave me a prescription for those heavy drugs. I did not go get it because I did not, no. I ain't got time for that. So I Tylenol and Motrin, that's what I stayed on. I was on them. I took them every day, like on the schedule for like a week, and after I stopped, and I just took them like as I felt the pain coming on. Ice packs. You're gonna need diapers, adult diapers, because you still bleed. And oh, y'all, also because I was pushing for 4 hours, my vagina was so swollen, like so swollen. The nurse came and she was like, "Yeah, you're really swole down there. We're gonna put the ice pack there." So yeah, and for anybody whose birth turned out like mine, like you didn't go in thinking you was gonna have a C-section, or you didn't go in thinking, like, you know, like this is not part of your plan. I just want to tell you that it's okay. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna heal. You're gonna be all right. And your baby is here. That's just how it had to be delivered. It's okay. You're gonna be all right. You're gonna heal. We might have a C-section scar, but it's okay. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. I would prefer a scar over anything else that could have happened, because yeah, like I said, it was low-key like a life and death situation. They was just being really calm about it, and we were really close to turning it into a very emergent, like big emergency situation. So yeah, yeah, to my C-section moms, we got this. You got this. Recovery really don't take that long. Like by the first, when your baby get a month, you don't be feeling good. You don't be feeling like your normal self. Like I feel like my normal self. The only thing different is I still have like the glue from my C-section still there, but I feel like my normal self. You don't feel like your normal self. And girl, we got this. We healing. We being moms. We growing. Thank you for watching my video. I'm so happy to share my C-section birth story with you guys. If you gotta have a C-section or you're planning to have one, it's not as scary as you think. And you have every right to be scared, though. You have a right to be scared. But you'll get through it. You'll be fine. Your baby's gonna be fine. And sometimes baby's just too big to get out, and it's okay. Also, my baby was 7 pounds, 15 ounces when she was born. So she was an ounce away from me, 8 ounces. So, and she was really long. She was like 19 inches when she was born. So she was long and big. Long and big. But yeah, thank y'all for watching our video. I'll see y'all in the next one.